Now, she spent 5 years delivering hard-hitting anti-drugs messages to thousands of Kent school children after her teenage son died taking the powerful painkiller tramadol. But today, Kim Webster made an emotional return to her son Will's old school in Herne Bay to plead with young people there not to experiment with illegal substances over the summer holidays. You might find some of the details in Nick Johnson's report upsetting.
Will Hawley, a keen boxer, his heart set on joining the army. But Will, who was 17, died 5 years ago this weekend after experimenting with a prescription drug. Today, his mum, Kim Webster, back at Will's former school, retelling the story of when she lost her boy.
I knew at that moment I was never going to see him again. I then had to go home and I had to tell my parents, Will's grandparents, that their beloved grandson had died.
Over the past 5 years, alongside the Kenwood Trust, Kim has spoken to 25,000 young people in her ceaseless attempt to steer them toward making the right choices.
I do it because I get to talk about Will. I do it because of the feedback and reaction we have from the kids. You know, with that, you see it in their faces when they're listening to Andy and myself, then they're actually, you know, listening and digesting what we're having to say. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now.
Since Will's death, the message about making the right choices has stayed the same. But the methods by which young people experiment have evolved. Disposable vapes now in the crosshairs.
They need to know the dangers of what's out there and what can be in the substances they use, because they don't really know. No one really knows, to be honest, what is in the pills, powder. It is potluck.
One of the biggest frustrations in schools and in the community is the way that the vapes are now marketed at young people. I mean, clearly walking into any shop, they are not marketed towards adults, they're marketed at young children. I think it's become increasingly difficult, you know, whether that's the size, the colour, the taste, the flavours, it is absolutely for young children.
This Christmas just gone, I can honestly say, was the hardest yet.
Will sat in your chairs, Kim said. He ate in your canteen. And he took a gamble, she said, by trying something new. And for Year 9 pupils, a message which stuck.
Quite shocking, to be honest, how someone can just take one thing and their life changes completely.
In general, I always see things as every day being the same, but how something can change so suddenly really puts things into perspective.
Nick Johnson, BBC South East Today, Herne Bay.
Well, let's talk to Nick, who's in Herne Bay for us now. And Nick, I know Kim's had a very busy few months, hasn't she?
Absolutely, she has. She's now working alongside the Kenwood Trust, that's the drug and alcohol rehab charity in Kent, trying out a much more direct form of outreach. She's been approaching young people on the streets across Kent, talking to them about the dangers of drug use, an approach which Kim says is both daunting and rewarding. She actually described a situation to me in Tunbridge where a young girl approached her, having recognised her, describing her as Will's mum. And it was that recognition that Kim said is her motivator, her signal to keep going, and the sign that her message is getting through to young people via her son. Now, most schools in our area are breaking up for the summer holidays this week, young people enjoying their newfound freedom at seasides such as this. And Kim's message is really enjoy the summer holidays, enjoy them safely, make the right choices.
Nick, thank you.